Hey guys, PLV here and welcome on my channel. I recently decided to start my music journey and I thought that it would be interesting to share it with you. So I'll be showing you what I do to learn, what I do to progress every day, the resources I use, the songs I make and how I make them, and everything that is basically music learning related. So because you have to start somewhere and I saw that KYGO was the latest addition to the monthly classes, I literally jumped on it the first day it got announced. I hesitated a little bit because it was the first time that it was running and it cost still a little bit, but I decided that it was going to be a great opportunity and that it was going to be worth it and probably skyrocket my skills. So if you're also wondering about this class or you're hesitating to enroll for the next one, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about it and hopefully answer the questions you might have about it. So the first question I asked myself was, do I need better equipment like those fancy MIDI keyboards or a studio with speakers and all? Or do I need more music skills? Do I need to know how to play instruments? But to be honest, you don't really need that much. Just a computer is enough because you can still paint the notes on the piano roll. Then of course, if you have a keyboard and you know how to play it, it's definitely better. In my experience, I prefer to play the notes. I feel like I can feel the rhythm better. I feel like it opens more room for creativity, but it's definitely not necessary. As for music skills, the more you know, the better it is. But if you don't know zilch about music, don't worry, they got you covered. Okay, so before the class starts, there are videos for you to take you up to speed. And one is teaching you the basics of music theory. It teaches you everything like how to come up with chords and melodies and all about scales and everything. And there is another one about the fundamentals of music software. So speaking about music software, I personally don't use the one that KYGO is using. I'm using FL Studio and I've been able to follow the class very well. But to be honest, I knew FL Studio a little bit from before. I had used it a little bit, I had watched a few tutorials about it, and it definitely helped me knowing what to do, which plugin to use and which were available. So if you're not planning on using Logic Pro, I definitely recommend to watch a few tutorials or even just mess around with it just to get familiar with it before the class starts. Okay, so how it works is, so we're on the class home page right now. This is usually where you have your tasks of the day. It's usually here, but I'm done with it right now. But usually it's like a few videos to watch on that day or giving feedback to your peers or even just continue working on your song. And when you continue to work on your song, a few days after, you have to hand off a project. So it's usually a part of your song. Here was like the chords and find the drop melody, then producing it. You literally do it like step by step with him. And when you post your project, it goes to the peer group and everyone can see it and listen to it. So it's pretty cool to be able to get feedback from other people. When you work on a song for so long, your ear gets tired. So it's really nice to have fresh ears to give you constructive critiques on your song and help you make it better. Okay, so now that we know how it works, let's dive into the first week. Alright, so the first week was very intense and the start was very rough for me because I'm working at the same time a full-time job, so it was definitely intense, but I managed to keep track and I even finished a little bit in advance. So on the first week we started by putting down the chords and the main drop melody and producing the build-up and the drop. So I recorded the piano myself, which was like, it took me a bit longer to do, but I was really proud of that and it really made me progress on being on time and playing the chords, so that was really cool. So getting the rhythm of the chord down wasn't too bad, but finding a good catchy melody took me forever. I just couldn't find any. I was really stuck at the beginning, and I'm not gonna lie, it was really frustrating because I was seeing everyone on the peer group posting and it was a great start, but I decided to not let it affect me in this way and instead motivate me and inspire me. So I powered through and I finally came up with something that sounded like this.
Oh, I know that it's hard to know where to start. Trust me, I know the way. And I know that it's better when we're all together. No, I won't run away.
So then we learned how to build the intro down to the first drop. So basically the whole first part of the song, how to keep it interesting and make the listener want to listen to it more. So basically at this point we had the first half of our song and it sounded like this.
Oh, I know that it's hard to know where to start. Trust me, I know the way. And I know that it's better when we're all together. No, I won't run away from all the memories we made.
So it definitely improved compared to the first version and I was really happy about that. I thought it was taking a better direction, but I knew I was gonna work a bit more on it. And that's actually the good thing with the class is that it's literally step by step. So as you go through it, sometimes you want to spend more time until like you get it perfect. But with these, you have assignments that you have to hand off, so you can't really spend too much time. Like you just continue, go through and let the creativity go. And then at the end you can like being picky and come back and make it perfect. So it's definitely good for like self-discipline, putting yourself deadline and accountability as well. So I really like that. Alright, so week 2 is done now. Well, half of it because I ended up finishing quite earlier than I thought, which is pretty cool. It led me time to finish the song. This week we worked on finishing the song, like the second part of it, and finishing the arrangement. I didn't really struggle like the first week. I knew what I wanted for the song. It went like really smooth. I got like lots of little cool ideas and they worked. The only thing that I struggled a little bit was the transition between the first part and the second part, like after the first drop to the second verse. But as we were doing it step by step with KYGO, it kind of made the process easier. Otherwise, I got a few feedback from the peer group, which was really cool. It really helped me like listen and pay attention to things that I hadn't before. So at this point I had my song pretty much done. I just used the next few days to just listen to it like over and over and over again until I was satisfied with it and I didn't feel like I needed to tweak anything. So before showing you a little preview of the song, I just want to review those first 2 weeks and give you my opinion on it so far. Alright, so for now the class is going super well. I love it. Really, it's an amazing experience. I can safely say that it's definitely worth it. I already feel like I learned a bunch of stuff. I feel more confident when I want to start a song. I know more about the process. What are the steps to take a song from start to finish? I can already see the progress that I've made and the improvements. Compared to the first song that I've done, which is right here if you want to listen. It definitely sounds more professional and more finished to my ear. Let me know what you think. So I'm really happy of my learning progress so far and I just can't wait to continue with the next 2 weeks and gain even more skills. With this course you definitely get an insight into how KYGO builds his songs, which instruments he chooses, which is super cool. Like sometimes it's often that he might say, I want this piano or this guitar, I know this one, you might recognize it from Firestone or Cut Your Teeth. It's pretty cool, like you can use the same that he uses in his like very popular songs, so it's really nice. So about the peer group feature, you are grouped with 20 other people, and while it is a great idea, there is just one issue to me. You are grouped with 20 people, but in the feed you can actually see like other people and it's crowded. Like there is so many people, it's not just 20. Even 20 is a lot, but it really crowds the space and your song gets completely drowned. You can't give feedback and hear the songs of everyone, and vice versa, you don't get as much feedback. So I think it's a bit of a bummer. I think it could be used better if we were less people so that you can actually connect with the persons and actually follow the progress of the songs and actually give better feedback, but it's still cool and it still helps. Oh yeah, about that, you might probably wonder if we heard from KYGO, but at this stage we haven't. And as I just said, it's so crowded. Like honestly, I don't even know how many people is there, if it's hundreds or thousands. I don't think we will, or that would be very lucky because I think there's just way too many people. But if you do, I will definitely let you know. So one more thing as well that I wanted to mention that I was a bit disappointed is the mixing and mastering part. There was a tutorial on the week 2 about it, but it didn't really bring any information about the mastering part because he usually sends his track to a music engineer that actually does that for him. So he didn't really give any information on how to do it ourselves, or like just a little quick plugin, like, but that's it, like nothing very solid. So I had to look up some tutorials to try and find a way to do it myself. But I really wish like someone from the monthly team would have stepped in and, like the music theory pre-class videos, would have give us information on how to do mastering ourselves. Another thing is I ended up buying not a lot, but a few things, like the actual software and a few plugins. It definitely makes it easier and like you have more choice. So just wanted to mention this because I know I've seen other people saying that they also ended up buying some stuff. So there might be more costs if you want more things. It's definitely not necessary. I'm sure that if you know what you're doing or if you look more into it, you'll definitely know how to do that particular thing free, but I just wanted to mention this. I also wanted to mention that I am working a full-time job at the same time, like 9 to 6, so I definitely had to organize myself and work before and after work and during the weekend, but I did it fine, like I even finished in advance, so it is definitely manageable. I don't really want to give like an estimate of hours they have to put in during the week because it's depending on everyone. And I also believe that the more time you put in, the better results you'll have. I probably spent like a good 6 hours during the week and then another 10 or more during the weekend. But that is because I wanted to really push myself and make the most out of this month. But definitely manageable if you don't have too much hours, if you're busy on the side. I was, and I still managed to do it. Alright, so I hope this video helped you in some ways or even motivated you to take the next class. If you have any more questions about it, let me know and I will answer as quick as possible. This has really been an amazing experience for me so far. I can't wait to continue on the 2 weeks. I know the next 2 weeks are 1 song per week, not 2 weeks to do a song, so it's definitely gonna be more intense. But I really believe that with self-discipline and motivation you can do it, so I just can't wait. I know it's also learning about the vocal chops, which is something I always wanted to do, so once again, I can't wait. I will let you know how it goes in another video about week 3 and 4, so that you can see everything, like the process and the progress that I will have made from before the class and after the class. In the meantime, I'll leave you with a little preview of the song. Don't hesitate to tell me if you like it, if you see an improvement compared with the first one, hopefully. But I really had fun making it, and I will release it soon. So keep learning and I will see you in the next video.